Well, welcome to the reading of the Times Reporter newspaper for Wednesday, October 21st. My name is Pam, and let's begin with the area death notices. Edith Mae Gibson, age 92, of New Philadelphia, died Monday, October 19th, in Hennis Care Center at Dover following a lengthy illness. The family will greet guests on Thursday, October 22nd, from 5 to 7 p.m. in the Lynn Hurt Geib Funeral Home and Crematory at New Philadelphia. A service celebrating Mae's life on Friday morning at 10 a.m. in the funeral home's chapel. Lloyd M. Miller, 86, of 2391 TR 165 in Sugar Creek, died Tuesday, October 20th, at his residence after a period of declining health. Funeral services will be held at 9:30 a.m. on Thursday, October 22nd, at the Furman Miller residence in Sugar Creek. Friends may call after 5 p.m. Tuesday and any time Wednesday afternoon and evening. Mary Elizabeth Rubis, 95, of New Philadelphia, passed away on Monday, October 19th, in Park Village Nursing Home. A private graveside service was held at Fort Steuben in Winterville, Ohio. That concludes the death notices listed in today's online edition of the Times Reporter, and let's begin with our first story. The 22nd COVID-19 related death was reported in Tuscarawas County. On Tuesday, the Tuscarawas County Health Department and the New Philadelphia City Health Department were notified of the 22nd COVID-19 related death in Tuscarawas County. The deceased was a 59-year-old man. As of 1 p.m. Tuesday, there were 1,241 cases of COVID-19 in Tuscarawas County, an increase of 44 since Monday. Of that number, 192 are active cases and 1,027 have recovered. Other statistics: current hospitalizations are 18, 22 deaths. The age range is less than 1 to 100 years old. The average age is 42.9. The date of onset range is from January 20th to Friday. Well, nearly 17,000 absentee ballots requested in Tuscarawas County by John Baker. In New Philadelphia, large numbers of Tuscarawas County residents continue to vote in person at the Tuscarawas County Courthouse in New Philadelphia or by mail as the November 3rd general election nears. As of Monday, 2,316 persons had voted in person at the Tuscarawas County Board of Elections office, according to Elections Director Gail Garbrandt. In addition, the board has mailed out 16,996 absentee ballots. About 2,500 of those have already been returned, she said. Board officials have set up 8 additional canopies outside to keep voters dry as they wait in line. The National Weather Service in Pittsburgh is calling for showers through Wednesday, and rainy weather will return on Friday for the weekend. This week, the Board of Elections office is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. for in-person voting, and it will also be open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday and from 1 to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Next week, the office will be open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. weekdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday, and 1 to 5 p.m. on Sunday. We're expecting a big turnout, Garbrandt said. She expects that all polling places will be open on Election Day on November 3rd. A man charged in storage unit thefts pleads guilty to 14 charges by Nancy Molnar. In New Philadelphia, one of 8 people charged in a series of thefts from storage units pleaded guilty to 14 charges on Monday in Tuscarawas County Common Pleas Court. Corey S. Stout, 32, of Barnhill, admitted to all charges in 5 cases, including aggravated drug possession, breaking and entering, theft, and receiving stolen property. The plea was the result of a negotiated agreement between the prosecution and defense. Stout is to receive a 2-year prison sentence to be reserved in favor of 2 years probation and completion of a residential program at the Stark Regional Community Correction Center, according to Assistant County Prosecutor Robert Urban. Visiting Judge John Haas scheduled sentencing for November 24th. He ordered a background investigation on the defendant from the Community Corrections Program. Hawes, a retired Stark County Common Pleas judge, filled in for Tuscarawas County Common Pleas Judge Elizabeth Lehigh Tamakis on Monday. She is expected to sentence Stout. Defense attorney Patrick Williams said Stout is facing additional drug possession charges from a recent grand jury indictment. Dover police identified Stout as part of a group that targeted storage units in Dover, Strasburg, New Philadelphia, and areas under the jurisdiction of the Tuscarawas County Sheriff's Office. Some items found locally were stolen in Carroll, Coshocton, and Stark counties. 7 businesses, 2 social service organizations received Dover CARES Act money by John Baker. In Dover City, Council has approved grants to 7 small businesses and 2 social service organizations using CARES Act funds the city received from the federal government. This was the second round of grants allocated from the CARES Act money. Receiving grants through the small business program are Excel Imprinting Limited, $5,000. John's Sweeper Service, $4,627.88. Sunless Rays, $5,000. Tuscarawas Dance Arts Center, $5,000. Magic Mugs, $5,000. WJER, $5,000. And Hoodletown Brewing Company, $5,000. They all had to show that they had a decrease in operating revenue from March to current of this year versus March to current of last year. Auditor Nicole Stolt told council members on Monday. It was actually very eye-opening how much these small businesses are struggling or have struggled. This $5,000 that we were able to give them doesn't come even close to what they're down, but it will help to pay for some of the expenses they have incurred over the last 7 or 8 months. The grants were limited to $5,000 per business. Dover has allocated $100,000 to the small business program. Council also granted $2,520 to the Tuscarawas County Senior Center and $10,000 to the Tuscarawas Clinic for the working uninsured under its social services grant program. Stolt said the grant to the Senior Center will pay for testing for employees so the center can reopen. The grant to the clinic will be used for rent, utilities, and payroll. They do a large service to our community for the uninsured, and they're seeing an influx right now, Stolt said. The city still has $11,220 left out of the $50,000 allocated for social services grants. Stolt encouraged businesses interested in applying to the program to contact her office. In other business, Council heard Service Director Dave Douglas report that the city has enough asphalt to repave additional city streets beyond those already scheduled to be repaved. Joining the list are 5th Street from Winkler Drive to Betcher Avenue and 4th Street from Winkler Drive to Crater Avenue. Tuscarawas Avenue from 6th to 4th Street is still scheduled to be repaved. Heard Mayor Richard Hammerhausen report that the Dover Planning Commission has approved the extension of city sewer and storm sewer to a property at 229 East Ohio Avenue. Heard the mayor remind residents that Trick or Treat will be held from 6 to 8 p.m. October 31st. Children should wear reflective clothing and travel with an adult. A victim was identified in the Warren Township house fire. Mineral City, the Tuscarawas County Coroner's Office, has identified the person who died in a house fire Monday in Warren Township as Scott Allen Levengood, 52, of Mineral City. The primary cause of death is listed as pending. Firefighters were called to the scene of the fire at 4703 State Route 212 Northeast in Warren Township at 12:58 p.m. on Monday. The fire started in the kitchen area. The state fire marshal is investigating. Our SCARF project enters the 5th year. The SCARF project will enter its 5th year with 15 distribution sites available. Scarves can be purchased or made before being donated to the project. Yarn also has been donated and given to those needing it to create items for the SCARF project. The goal of the SCARF project is to provide assistance to those who need help but may struggle to ask for it. It was started by Tony Kaltenbaugh. The first year of the project, 123 scarves were collected. The project has received approximately 1,000 scarves, which will be distributed November 13th. Scarves will be hung so they can be acquired anonymously. Scarves are not carried over from year to year. Scarves not collected at the specific locations will be shared with those in need in some other way. Distribution will take place at the following locations: St. John's United Church of Christ, 409 Worcester Avenue, Dover; Medical Suites, 400 Park Drive, Dover; the intersection of State Street and Barnhill Road, Southeast in Midvale; Nicole Donut Library, 8503 High Street, Mineral City; Newcomerstown Middle School, 325 West State Street; Rite Aid at 705 West High Avenue, New Philadelphia; Starlight Enterprises, Inc., 246 East High Avenue, New Philadelphia; the City Park across from Marathon Manufacturing at 5165 Main Street, New Philadelphia; Tuscarawas County Library, 121 Fair Avenue, Northwest, New Philadelphia; 1873 Victorian Rose Bed and Breakfast, 206 West Main Street, Port Washington; the Village Market at 102 North Worcester Avenue in Strasburg. Donations of yarn and scarves can be left on the back porch of 730 Tuscarawas Avenue Northwest, New Philadelphia, and the front porch of 114 Washington Street in Uhrichsville. For information, please call 330-432-1930. And now the Garaway Board of Education, October 19th meeting. Key action. Heard the district is looking at what steps to take if the county goes into a red alert for the pandemic. Discussion. Superintendent Dr. James Millett said if the county goes into the red alert for the COVID-19 pandemic, the district will take a close look at what is happening in the schools and what steps will be taken. Millett commended the staff, students, and family for following all the protocols to keep everyone safe. Other actions. Accepted the resignation of Richard Zimmerman, Baltic Elementary custodian, effective January 1st, 2021, for retirement. Gave approval to transfer Kevin Atkinson from second shift custodian to head custodian, Building and Grounds Department. Granted 1 year prorated classified contact to Robert Anderson and Brent Abel, custodian, Buildings and Grounds Department. Issued athletic coaching stipend to Jim Monagold, Darren Yosick, Brooks Numbers, all boys basketball varsity assistants, Darren Raber, 8th grade boys basketball, Corey Yoder, 7th grade boys basketball, Tim Miller, girls basketball varsity assistant, Donald Sundheimer, 8th grade girls basketball, Katie Elmore, 7th grade girls basketball, Grant Hirschberger, assistant varsity wrestling, Ryan Tetrault, middle school wrestling. They hired Derek Mackey as a student custodial aide at minimum wage. Accepted donations of a Gaga pit valued at $1,475 from the Baltic Parent Teacher Organization. A $50 anonymous donation to the girls and boys basketball program in memory of Jeffrey Stevenos. $500 from Bars General Construction, LLC, for the Industrial Arts Club. $100 from Matthew Mullen for the mock trail team attending state competition. A $97 anonymous donation to Ragersville Elementary first grade. Adopted 2 board policies, a revised policy for attendance and a new policy for protective facial covering during the pandemic epidemic. Heard the first reading of 14 board policies. Approved an agreement with West Holmes Local School Board of Education for admission of a Garaway resident student receiving special educational services during the 2020-21 school year. Entered into an agreement with Union Local Schools Board of Education for admission of a Garaway resident student receiving special education services during 2020-2021 school year. Approved an excess cost agreement for children with disabilities with East Holmes Local School Board of Education for 4 Garaway students receiving special education services during the 2020-2021 school year. gave approval to a shared services agreement between the board and East Holmes Local School Board of Education to transport East Holmes students attending Buckeye Career Center. Established a bus route for the 2020-2021 school year. Entered into an agreement for driver's education between the district and East Central Ohio Education Service at no cost to the district. Approved audit performance stipend for David Yoder and Kathy Maurer for $500 each for the 2019-20 fiscal audit to be paid following the audit report, which shows no material citations or fines per past practices. Approved Kaufman Realty and Auction to inventory and auction obsolete equipment. Gave approval to the following volunteers: Molly Jacobs and Alyssa Trapp Garraway, 7 through 12, Glenn Huffman Boys Basketball, Anthony Moldovan Girls Basketball, Braven Raber Middle School Basketball. For your info, congratulated Pat Wenger, aide, 22 years of service, and Gail Legg, elementary and middle school art teacher and reading tutor, 16 years of service, on their retirement. And the SBCD to hold an HR mini corner. The Small Business Development Center at Kent State University Tuscarawas will hold a Human Resources Mini Corner web chat at noon October 27th. The Small Business Development Center at Kent State University Tuscarawas will hold a Human Resources Mini Corner web chat at noon on October 27th. Oh, that's deja vu. The chat will cover writing job ads. It will cover the components of a job ad, writing effective job ads, where to post an ad, and measuring results. The chat presenter will be SBDC HR advisor Joanna Forbes. If you'd like to register, go to sbdcksut.org/register-webinar. That's sbdcksut.org/register-webinar. And now, good. Trumpet in the Land to host Halloween event. The Trumpet in the Land, in partnership with local organizations, will host a free drive-through Halloween event from 4 to 6 p.m. October 31st in the lower parking lot of the Outdoor Amphitheater in New Philadelphia. Trick-or-treaters can come in a vehicle and drive around the circle. Treats will be delivered to each car at trunk stations set up in the circle. Face masks and gloves will be worn by those delivering the treats. Treats will be guaranteed to the first 300 trick-or-treaters. Guests must remain in their vehicles, and no walk-ups will be permitted. For information, call 330-364-5111. Walnut Hills celebrates Assisted Living Week. Walnut Hills recently celebrated National Assisted Living Week from September 14th to September 18th. The theme of the week was Caring is Essential at Camp Care. Residents and team members participated in camp-related activities and entertainment, including survival skills trivia, s'mores, and fishing for snacks. For information, you can call 330-893-3200 or on the website visit walnuthillsliving.org. Students wear red to encourage drug-free living. In New Philadelphia, WJER, October 20th. Area students are wearing their commitment to creating a drug-free movement in their schools this week. This is National Red Ribbon Week, the largest drug abuse prevention campaign in the U.S., starting in the mid-'80s as a tribute to a fallen DEA special agent. Ohio Guidestone Youth Prevention Specialist Jessica Sexton says they have students in youth-to-youth programs bringing awareness and explaining the impact of the usage in their area and high schools, especially now during the pandemic. Sexton says the schools are participating on their own with announcements and social media activity this week. Tuscarawas County Commissioner Al Landis said they also once again proclaimed this Red Ribbon Week in the county, with the courthouse scheduled to be lit up in red on Saturday. Sexton says students from 6 schools are also going to decorate a door at Landis' home as part of a national competition. Area senior centers to open next month. Dover JER, October 20th. Tuscarawas County Senior Center officials say they're excited to start welcoming members back into their buildings, even if it's on a limited basis. Executive Director Jamie Smith says a grant from the Ohio Department of Aging will help offset the costs associated with testing staff members biweekly for COVID-19, which the state requires for senior centers to reopen. Smith says they hope to reopen the Dover building for indoor dining November 9th, with appointments required for fitness classes and occupancy limited to 50% capacity. She says the Claymont, Garaway, Mineral City, and Westchester satellites would reopen for weekday lunches the same day, with curbside meal pickup remaining available at all 6 senior center locations. Smith said they're hoping to resume small group activities like card games and bingo around May of next year, or once we make it through the flu season. And now, ODOT ramps up outreach for National Awareness Day. The Ohio Department of Transportation officials were using a National Day of Awareness to remind drivers to move over a lane for any vehicle with flashing lights parked on the side of the road and slow down if that isn't possible. Monday was National Move Over Awareness Day, and ODOT Press Secretary Matt Brunning says getting over isn't just the law in Ohio, it's also the right thing to do. Brunning says ODOT was using its 130-plus digital boards to remind drivers about the law and why getting over for law enforcement, road workers, and disabled vehicles is so important. He says it's a message they promote year-round on social media with their Move Over Mondays campaign. ODOT has logged more than 3,500 work zone-related crashes so far this year, resulting in 17 fatalities and 951 injuries, and another 500 crashes involving law enforcement, tow truck drivers, and construction and utility workers. Tuscarawas County rental assistance is available. Tenants who live in Tuscarawas County can apply for up to $1,500 in rental assistance through federal funding distributed by the county commissioners. Tenants must have had a loss or reduction of income related to the pandemic to be eligible, and have less than $2,000 available in liquid resources. Income must be below 200% of the poverty income level. Landlords must agree to receive the program assistance for tenants to be eligible. Applications are available online and at 389 16th Street Southwest, New Philadelphia. All portions of the applications must be completed to be considered. To apply, go to tcjfs.org. That's tcjfs.org. Writers Guild contest winners announced. Coshocton's Write-On Writers Guild recently announced the first, second, and third place in 4 categories of its summer writing contest. Winners in the poetry category included Jennifer Jones in first place with Goodbye, Sweet Eve, Lorna F. Ron in second place with Soft Murmurs, and Shelley Webb in third place with The Afterlife. All 3 winners are from Coshocton. Winners in the notification category include Jean Turner Benning of Lebanon in first place with A Graduate Remembers, Patricia Kent of Warsaw in second place with Changes, and Jeff Worley of Coshocton in third place with Sarge. Winners of the fiction short stories category include Shelby Webb of Coshocton in first place with The Watch, Jennifer Jones of Coshocton in second place with Another Day on the Lake, and June Markley of West Lafayette in third place with Christmas of 1967. 2 entries were submitted in the letters category. Both were submitted by Margaret Lowe of Fresno. Tony Whitman of Uricksville submitted the poem This Is Why I Write. It will be placed inside the Write-On's Writer Guild 20th Anniversary Chapbook, available at the 2021 April Book Fair. 34 entries were submitted, 17 of which were poems. Judges included Guild members Deborah Bailey, Rick Bailey, Julie Derian, Gloria Drobnak, Sharon Hunter, and Marianne Sherman. Winners have been notified and their certificates have been printed. For more information, please call 740-400-0045. And this concludes the reading of the Times Reporter for Wednesday, October 21st. My name is Pam, and I am privileged to be in your home today. Please remember to stay safe, be blessed, and do what you can do to make today a blessed day and a great one.